Hi, everyone. My name is Claudia Ali. I am a parent outreach coordinator with the Illinois Student Assistance Commission. Thank you for being here with me. This is another parent session, and I will start in a minute. Hopefully, more parents join. Okay, so I'm going to get started. My name is Claudia Ali. I am a parent outreach coordinator with the Illinois Student Assistance Commission, also known as ISAC. This is a session for parents, like I mentioned. And before I begin, I want to go over some housekeeping items. As a reminder, this session will be recorded and available in our YouTube page. If you have questions during the session, please use the Q&A option at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. If you don't have any questions for me today, but later on you have questions regarding this session or anything related to the college planning or financial aid process, please use the ISAC College Q&A service. This is a free resource for you and your student, and you can get your questions answered via text message. To register, you can send us your first and last name to a number that will be provided in the chat. In case I forgot to include that, the number is 847 243 6470. And again, later on, hopefully I don't forget to share in the chat. But this is a free service, just like any other service we provide to students and families. So if there are new families joining today and are not familiar with our agency, in short, the Illinois Student Assistance Commission is the college access and financial aid agency here in the state of Illinois that administer programs such as grants and scholarship, basically to help pay for college. Our mission is to provide Illinois students with information and assistance to make education beyond high school accessible and affordable. We know the college process is not easy, and that is why we're here. As I mentioned in previous sessions, I work helping parents understand the college planning and financial aid process as well. But within our agency, there is also staff who work directly with students that can also help them in that process. So today's session is titled Supporting Your High School Student Through the PACE Framework. And I will begin explaining a little bit about what it is. So the Illinois Post-Secondary and Career Expectations, known as the Illinois PACE Framework, came about because in 2016, the Post-Secondary and Workforce Readiness Act, or the PWR Act, was signed into law, and four education agencies here in the state of Illinois came together to develop and establish a system to make sure that high school students are college and career ready. The four agencies that I am referring to are the Illinois State Board of Education, or ISB, Illinois Board of Higher Education, or IBHE, Illinois College Community College, Education, College Board, ICCB, and then us, the Illinois Student Assistance Commission, or ISAC. So with legislation passed and signed into law in 2022, Illinois public school districts are required to adopt and implement a PACE framework for grades 6 to 12, aligned to the Illinois PACE framework. And I'm going to talk a little bit more in a second. This means that schools can use the Illinois PACE framework as it is, or they can customize their own. So again, you may be wondering how this framework works or what it really does. So basically, the intent is for schools to incorporate the principles of the Illinois PACE framework into their curricula and provide students with the skills and knowledge necessary to explore their post-secondary options. Like I mentioned, Illinois public school districts are required to adopt and implement a PACE framework for grades 6 through 12. But for the purpose of this session, I will only concentrate my conversation in grades 9 through 12. So the framework is organized around three key areas. The first one being on career exploration and development. So with that, the student is supported to complete a career cluster survey, visit a workplace aligned with career interests, create a personal statement, or looking for internship opportunities. These are only just a few examples. There are more things that the student will be supported following the Illinois PACE framework. But again, I'm just providing just a couple of examples just so you have a better idea. The second key area for that will be concentrated for high school is the post-secondary education exploration, preparation, and selection. Here, the student is supported to outline a plan for community service, to complete at least one early college credit, or build certain relationships with adults to get supported in the career selection process. Like I mentioned, the process of applying or even selecting a college is very difficult, and students need that support, to make the process a little bit easier. The third key area is the financial aid literacy, where the students will be supported to attend financial aid presentations, understand the terms and conditions of scholarships or loans, and understand the estimated cost of post-secondary options. Basically, the student should be aware of the financial aid process and whatever is related to paying for college. For more information on the Illinois PACE framework, you can also visit our website. We will be sharing that in the chat as well. I think this is kind of like a guide where you can find different little things that you can do with your student. But again, the purpose of the PACE overview is for you to know how the schools are supporting your students in preparing them so they can make informed decisions regarding the college and career planning. Like I mentioned, we can support our students in different ways, and there are really basic things that we can do to support them. So for this, I will provide some tips on how to best support your high school student from freshman year to senior year. And some of these things are things that I did with my own child. He graduated from high school, and those 4 years went by so fast. And if I would have known different little things that he could have started in freshman year, things would be way much easier at the end. But again, let's just talk a little bit about this. So hopefully this helps you in your process. So starting with freshman year, it is important for your students to start getting comfortable with the routine to go to school. We know that, it's a transition from middle school to high school, and that is not easy. So making new friends, studying after school, joining clubs, and getting involved in extracurricular activities. So basically, time management is the key for this year. And then another tip that I usually share with parents is to start looking for scholarships. A lot of parents think that that they have to wait until senior year to start this search, but it is never too soon to do this. In fact, it is recommended students start as early as possible. Let's say need-based aid is not enough to cover the college, your student is selecting. So then scholarships can help, cover the additional expenses or the out-of-pocket costs that you would have to pay. For that, your student can visit the apply.com/ISAC. And create a profile there, and hopefully you're able to find some help or some scholarship for your student. Also, your student can observe what classes or clubs are more interesting to them. That helps relate their interest into a career option, right? And then the last thing I want to say that relates not only to freshman year, but throughout their high school years, is that students can connect with their teachers, counselors, and or any other adult that will be a mentor, right? A mentor to your student. So mentors can help in many ways. For instance, having a mentor can help students develop confidence, develop their leadership skills, or even stay accountable to their goals. A lot of the times, our students don't want us to be involved when they start high school. And I think having a mentor is essential to help them in that transition. So now for sophomore year, I would say that that's when our students start to feel more confident with their independence. But also, like I mentioned, some of them don't want us to be involved in their education anymore. At least that's what happens with my son. That's when he began not wanting me to go for like report pickup or getting involved in like whatever school events were happening. That doesn't mean they're fully ready for it to be on their own. As parents, I think we need to recognize these changes without keeping track of what they're supposed to be doing, just to make sure that they finish high school strong. So it is important for the students develop self-awareness of what they like or even what they're attracted to. For that, I think one of the things that I share with parents is that your student can complete a career assessment or surveys. So basically, these surveys are tools that can help your student understand their interests, understand their skills, and personal traits in relation to potential career paths. And they can also provide insights into which jobs or fields might be a good fit for them. Also, my suggestion is that sophomore students get familiar with career clusters. So, career clusters are groups of jobs that share similar skills and interests. And knowing about these career clusters can guide your student in like choosing courses or extracurricular activities that align with their goals. Even if you want to do this early, it doesn't hurt to do it in freshman year. The key here is to get familiar with terminology that will help you later in your process of applying for college. My last recommendation for sophomore students, if they haven't done it, it is to find volunteering opportunities. A lot of students start way earlier. For instance, my son started when he was in sixth or seventh grade, so he started volunteering at a public library. Other students like more like administrative volunteering positions. But the purpose of this volunteering is that the students explore the different fields and industries, and that will help your student discover what they really like. I usually share that I suggested my son to volunteer at a library, hoping that he would love to read, but it was the opposite. He hated it. But again, this is the purpose of volunteering. And ultimately, the long-term benefit of volunteering is that it helps students discover their interests and choose a career path. And then in addition to obviously, all the skills they will develop, the networking opportunities that they will have, and the experience that they will obtain. So we will be sharing the ISAC student portal to find all the different resources that the student can use. And then for junior year, as your student gets, closer to finish high school, the number of things they need to focus on can become a little overwhelming. But reminding them that persistence makes everything possible as long as they want to do it. Everything is possible. So reminding them that persistence is important is essential as a backup for them. One of the things students have to do in their third year of high school is taking the standardized test known as ACT, or some others have it as SAT. These tests is usually offered to the students during the spring. Before the pandemic, this test was a requirement for college admission, but it became optional for most schools after the pandemic. However, the scores of this standardized testing can be used when applying for scholarships, especially for merit-based scholarships. So it is, important to advise your student to try to do their best when they are taking their tests. With my son, he took it in his junior year. He didn't do well, but he was able to retake it during his senior year. So that's another option. Also, it is important that your student make a list of colleges of interest. This will help your student compare the different programs, the cost of attendance at the different institutions, or even what are the academic standards at the different colleges or universities your student is considering. Investigating a college early can help students focus on maintaining a strong GPA, for instance, right? If they investigate a college, they will find out the requirement is like a specific GPA, so that will help us, or that would help them concentrate on trying to keep their GPA as high as they can, or the student is aware of tuition costs, right, or financial aid options, including scholarship opportunities through a particular institution. A lot of the times, or some of the parents who I have talked to don't know that each institution or most institutions have their own scholarships where the students can apply to them. The other thing that students can do, it's college fairs. This is a really, really good opportunity to learn about the colleges. And the other good thing is that you, as a parent, can go with them. During this college fair, students explore like different institutions. They can gather information about particular college, a particular degree, and they can also receive guidance on the application process. So again, this is a really good opportunity where the family can attend. Here in the state of Illinois, the Illinois Association for College Admission Counseling organizes and oversees college fairs. And there is actually one happening here in Chicago. For those who live in Chicago, October 1st at Navy Pier. There will be having a big event, a big college fair, but there is also other college fairs throughout the state. Wherever you are, you can visit these fairs. We will share the link in case you want to attend. And even if your student doesn't know what they want to do, what is it that they want to study, it is a great experience for the whole family to attend. Like I mentioned, you can go with your student. When I attended with my older son, I also took my younger son, who was only 11 years old. I took my niece, who at the time was, I believe, she was 7. And we all came excited because it was even the first time for me attending this college fair. And I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to tell my son when he asked me, what are we doing in this place? But it's just interesting to go around different tables, different finding information on different colleges, universities, and you can get the opportunity to talk to the representatives at the different institutions as well. Um, Sometimes they have like giveaways that they give you. You have your little bag where you can put your the different things that they have at their table. Um, College visits. It's another good thing to do with your student. Once your student has a list of colleges in mind, I think it is really important to start visiting those colleges because students can assess the campus environment. They will have like the chance to see whether it is, a small or large campus. They can explore the different resources they offer, and that will determine if the school is a good fit for them. Some students do really well in large schools, but others prefer smaller institutions. So basically, through a college visit, your student can assess whether a college aligns with, the student's academic, social, and personal preferences. This is one of the things that are really, really important, but a lot of families don't see it that way, or simply they just don't know, what is the long-term benefit of visiting, the colleges before making a decision. Last but not least, for those who have gone through senior year with another child, it is no secret how stressful it can be. Like I mentioned, my son graduated in May this year, and it was very, very stressful. But for those who just started their senior year, I don't want you to worry about this. I want you to know that there is people who can support your student. You have your school counselor, you have your professors. We are also here to help you in this process. Like I mentioned, I work with parents, helping them understand this process to make it a little bit easier for them. There is also the ISAC Corps, who are the staff that works directly with your student as well. So for senior year, in addition to students focusing on finishing, their last year strong, students have a lot of things to do before graduation. So, like I mentioned, one of the things that a student can do in senior year is that they can take or retake. The SAT or ACT during this senior year. Only I would suggest to recommend your student to retake it if they think that they will improve their score, right? Again, we want higher scores just in case they apply for a scholarship, or just in case the college that they're planning to requires the standardized testing. Um, as part of the college application process, students are required to write an essay. Typically, the college offers a list of prompt questions from which the student can choose. This is one of the things a lot of students struggle, especially I have seen a lot of Latino students who struggle writing an essay, and that's because they don't have they don't like to write. They don't A lot of the students don't like reading, and I'm talking in particular about my own student. He struggled a lot when writing his essay. But I usually recommend parents to let their students know about making a list of academic and personal accomplishment early on. So whenever they're required to start doing this essay, it is easier for them, putting these things together. And then the last thing I want to share with you is that students in their senior year, complete their college applications as well as financial aid application. Depending on your student's plan, students can apply to colleges for early action or early decision, which it usually happens in November, or students can wait for regular decision. If a student decides to submit a regular decision application, I suggest, to do it before or during the Christmas break. It depends if you think you're going to need the assistance of the school counselor. Then, I would wait until, either before the Christmas break or after the Christmas break. Always, paying attention to deadlines, right? So I don't want you to think that I'm suggesting, completing your application at a specific time. It is important to visit their websites just to make sure that you're not missing a deadline to submit it. One of the things that help my son and myself submitting the college application early was that it helped us reduce the stress about, the deadlines, right? Knowing that we submitted the application early, we have one thing less to care or to stress about. However, some colleges ask for students' current grades, which that's what happened with one of the colleges my son applied to. They were asking for his current grades, and at the time they were not so great. So again, if that's the case, I would wait to submit the application until later. But again, I want to emphasize that you need to pay attention on the deadlines, just so you don't miss the deadline. And then finally, the financial aid aspect. This is one of the I don't want to say one of the most important things to know, but a lot of students and families don't know how the financial aid works. They're not familiar with the different options, so that's why I consider this topic very, very important. School counselors often offer financial aid workshops where students and parents are invited to go over the financial aid process, but also, to help students complete their financial aid application. So again, there is a help, there for you. So stay tuned for notifications from your child's school about this type of workshops. With that, I hope you find these tips, beneficial to support your student. Remember to stay connected. Take your child to college visits or fairs. Ask your student if they need help. It is important to maintain a communication with them. And then go to report pickup, because that's one of the mistakes I did. I stopped going to his report pickup days, and I missed a lot of the things that I needed to know and that I needed to be aware of. Also, schedule meetings with professors or the school counselor. It's really important to stay connected, and so that way you can support your student in whatever it is that they need. Stay informed. Join a financial aid workshop offered by your school or community. Even if your student is in freshman year, it is, important to start getting familiar with financial aid terminology, the different financial aid options. I suggest you to start early, and then most importantly, ask questions. A lot of parents, or even a lot of students, they think that they are independent enough, but they don't know how to ask questions. So ask questions and help your student find the different resources that they may need throughout their high school years. Thank you for being here. I will move on to check the Q&A and see if there is any questions that they need to be addressed. And again, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate the time you're taking this evening to to learn new things that can help in the college process, or just simply be there to support your student when needed. So far, I don't see any question. But again, feel free to use the ISAC College Q&A to register. Like I mentioned, send us your first and last name to one of the numbers that is listed in the chat. Usually, the English line, we have more students who join, the platform, but parents are also welcome. I usually manages the Spanish line, which, most of the Spanish users are parents. But again, those resources are available there. And don't forget, like I mentioned, it's the college fairs are fun to go to. You learn a lot. And like I mentioned, there is one that is happening here in Chicago. For those who live in Chicago, it's a really big event. This year, it will happen at Navy Pier. The year that I went to, it was at McCormick Place, where the auto show is usually held. It's a big place with a bunch of different colleges from different parts of the U.S. And again, there is also, smaller college fairs throughout the state. So with that, I want to say thank you again for being here. And if you have any questions later, text us. And thank you very much.